Okay, so today I am thinking that I'm gonna go to Argyle Yarn shop, and it's pretty far because it's all the way in Brooklyn and I am in Manhattan, so it's gonna be a few train rides worth of journeying, but I think it'll be worth it. And I just remember that they had a really great yarn selection, so I'm not doing anything else this lazy Sunday morning, so I'm just gonna head out and check it out because I am expecting some furniture deliveries, but I don't expect them to come till the afternoon. So I have all the morning to go and kind of mess around and buy more yarn that I don't have any storage for. So let's go. But also, please forgive my messy room. I'm still in the process of moving. Like, I don't have a nightstand, so I'm just using some boxes that I have. But again, hopefully things will be starting to settle in. I'm not going to Argyle Yarn shop with like a specific agenda in mind. Like, I'm kind of just going to browse the yarns. And also today I'm going to be testing out my new camera, hence the change in quality, because I just ordered like the Sony EZV-10 or something, and I'm not very good with it yet. Like, I've shot a lot in slow-mo accidentally, but I'm really excited to play around with it. So I'm gonna try to film this entire vlog today with this camera. And the only other agenda that I have in mind today is just like, I got a new electric skein winder, and I finally have like sort of a tabletop, like my cabinet that I can attach like my Swift and the skein winder too. So I really want to get some skeins that I can test that out with and just like see how it works, and you'll get my honest review of it. And the funny thing with this skein winder is that I ordered it and I was like, chill, like it's Etsy, like it won't come for a few days, but then it did say super fast shipping on it, and I was really stressed because like it got here on Monday, but I wasn't gonna get in till I thought Thursday. It's actually Wednesday. So I was like really stressed. I was like, my $600 skein winder is just gonna be sitting in the hallway. Like, I don't even know if there's a mail room. Like, oh my God, it's gonna get stolen. So then I had to redirect it to some like FedEx pickup point, and it took me like a while to go and pick it up. It's not heavy, but I did have to carry it 10 blocks. So hopefully it's worth it. Also, as a side note, the Metro just gives you free rides after a certain number, so you don't have to stress about like whether you should have gotten the weekly pass or not. So just fun New York Transit stuff. And after all the trains, I finally did a 6-minute walk to Argyle Yarn shop, and I'd been there before. I was there last summer, but I just forgot how much selection they have. Like, they have a few like really great brands like Madeline, Tosh, Hedgehog Fibers, and like Qing Fibre, and like a bunch of other like more local yarn dyers. And they just have so many yarns. Like, it was so fun to just kind of keep on wandering the store, and like everything's sorted out by like the weight of yarn. So like they'll have like a sport weight, a DK weight, like a bulky weight section. I gravitated towards like the mohairs and the fluffy yarns because like I just need that for my stash right now, and like they had some of the best stash of melted baby Suri that I've seen in person. So it was so fun to finally get to see those colors in person, because up until then, like, I've literally just been like ordering online and just like hoping that it comes out right. And they also had this colorway called furling that I absolutely love. Like, this was my first colorway in melted baby Suri, and it really reminds me of like the Grinch. So here's their selection of, I think, DK or sport weights, and they just have these really fun neon colors. And I basically spent like an hour just like wandering the aisles, going back and forth, because again, I didn't really have a project in mind, but I did want to buy like a sweater's quantity of yarn. And I ended up getting a lot. Like, as you can see, they had some great sales that I wanted to take advantage of, but I also really wanted to just test out my new skein winder. So I grabbed these skeins and then I headed home. I just spent so much money at Argyle Yarn store, but they have an amazing selection, and I'll be back. I am actually really just excited to try out my new electric skein winder. Yeah, so I have plenty of skeins to do that. In fact, all the skeins that I bought, they have to be wound up into cakes. I overshot it, and now I need to do a little backtracking because I missed my stop. Okay, let me show you what I got. And sorry, I'm a little bit sweaty. I don't have the AC unit yet. I don't think I'm gonna get it until next summer because I don't want to block out my entire window because I like that view right now. So it's hot, but it's not unbearably hot, so I just got a fan. Anyways, so the lovely people at Argyle Yarn gave me this like welcome to New York present of this like nice little knitting bag. So I was just bored on the train and I was just like putting my yarn in there. So now I have to take it all out. But I guess first things first, what I can show you is I got this Argyle Yarn's like super bulky yarn, and it's this really lovely like red. I don't know what to call it, this type of red. I'm not very good with like the tones of red, but it's red, but it's not like a really bright red. It's like a slightly more muted red, and I really like it. I only have one skein of this, but this is 250 grams for 97 meters. So a little bit more of like a skein than what I'm used to working with. So I don't know what I'm gonna make with this yet because I only have one skein and it was on sale, so there are no more. And then let's open up this. I got a bunch of the Madeline Tosh Vintage, I think. Yeah, Tosh Vintage in the color Jade. And it's just so, so pretty. Oh, I'm glad the camera can finally like convey how pretty it is. And I got a bunch of skeins of this because I was thinking like, you know what? I want to make a ribbed dress. So I'm thinking I'm going to make a variation on my 2 to 9 dress, but I'm going to make it entirely ribbed. So it's not going to be like as a shift dress, more of like a bodycon dress, but like it'll be a nice like stretchy knit dress. So I got like 5 skeins of it because I wasn't really sure how the ribbing would affect it. And so this is a lot of yarn, but I just really love this colorway. And it was just really exciting to be able to see like the Madeline Tosh yarns like in person. So I'm really excited for that. And then I got some fingering yarn, and I know it's fingering yarn, but I'm going to be holding a double, and I'm going to be holding a bunch of strands together. And so this is Tre Liz in the colorway Sun Summoner, and they're just so lovely. I really love this orange. Yeah, I'm really excited because like it'll be fall, so I get to wear orange more. Not that I wasn't wearing orange like this summer at all, but like, you know. So I got 3 skeins of this, and they're all like fingering weight, but again, I'm going to be holding them double, but I'm also going to be holding it with like single strands of this Melted Baby Suri in Champagne. So I think this will be a really lovely color combination. Like, I decided not to go with like another like orange tone to hold it with because I wanted to soften the tone a little bit, so I went with this like lovely champagne colorway, which will hopefully like make it a little bit like less neon, more like bright orange. And then I got 2 more skeins of that one just so that I had enough, like, I was trying to do the math in my head while there, and like it was, okay, so the fingering weight yarn is 366 meters, but if I hold a double, that means you only have like about 184, 83 meters. And so if by 3, that's like however many, but then 183 meters is about the same as 1 skein of Melted Baby Suri, which is 175 meters. You know, do you ever just have to do that type of math and like, it's just so hard. And like something about like you're standing in a yarn store, you have your phone out, you have the skeins, like nobody's pressuring you, but like you're just really stressed and you just can't do the math. Like I was like literally standing in the aisle alone, nobody was pressuring me there. I was just like chilling, but then I was just getting so stressed trying to do that math. I just can't do quick math. I can't do math and pressured. And then finally I got 1 skein of this also a skinny single. I think this is also fingering weight yarn. It's the Hedgehog Fibers in Cereal, and I really love this. I would have gotten more, but they only had 1 skein left. So, you know, and yeah, I'm really excited about this one actually. And I'm thinking that I'm going to be holding this with a bunch of like mohairs or suris just to kind of make it more fun. I don't know, because like there's just no way you're going to get me to knit with only fingering weight yarn. Like, I'm going to be holding it with other yarns, and, like, I just think that this colorway is a really lovely base to hold with a bunch of different yarns. Because it's kind of neutral, but it's a little bit of pop, like, there's a bunch of colors in it, and I think that it'll go with a bunch of yarns that I am planning to buy or will be buying. Now I am going to test out my new electric skein winder and see how many of these I can skein up, because I don't know what I'm going to knit with them yet, but I want to test out the skein winder. So I finally have like a table. I have this lovely cabinet over here that I can put the Swift on, because I currently have my Swift on my fireplace. I'll show you. But obviously the fireplace is too close to the wall for me to actually extend the Swift, so I just put it there just that it was there and it was out of the way, like I wouldn't step on it. But now I finally have like this lovely cabinet to anchor it on. And honestly, this is like the only piece of furniture that I can actually use for this. So I'm gonna unbox my electric skein winder and test it out. But first, let me like clean up things a little bit because like there's no room for the Swift or the skein winder over there. Like, okay, not the most thorough cleaning job, I'll be the first to admit it, but I don't have any storage yet to put things away, so I kind of just moved the mess from one place to another. But now it's clear. So first things first, I'm going to set up the Swift. And I'm probably gonna have to open up the cabinet doors in order to put the Swift anywhere like that. No, I definitely have to. Okay, now that I have that set up, I'm going to unbox the electric skein winder. And you can see all of my clothes in there right now, but at least they're folded and clean. Ooh. All sorts of instructions that I should definitely read. One second, before I unload this more, I'm going to read the instructions because that seems like the smart decision to do with a $600 piece of equipment. Okay, I've read the instructions and now I have a goal of, I'm going to start with using the foot pedal because this is the Ashford Wheels and Looms E-ball winder. And I think that it has a foot control, and I was actually just talking to the ladies at Argyle Yarn and they said that they had this electric skein winder that was from a company that's actually out of business now, but it's like nice because it's an on and off button. And they basically looked into the Ashford one when theirs broke, but because it uses the foot pedal, they couldn't use it because like they said in like the months of like October, November, and like December, like the skein winder's literally going all day because people are just getting so much yarn and scanning it up. So I'm going to try it with the foot pedal first. I'm going to just test it out and see how it goes. It says literally like it is inevitable that the yarn will tangle or snag, and that the foot pedal is actually a lot better to like stop that. So I read that it also has an on and off switch that you can like just like control by hand. I actually haven't even taken it out of the box yet, but first I'm going to try it with the foot pedal. And I'm also going to move you guys so that way you get a better view. You know, I don't know if this is enough distance between my Swift and my skein winder. And I don't know what else to do. Like, I don't have any other furniture to do this on. Because my desk isn't here yet. Like, it's absolutely, it's not enough distance. Maybe I'll put it on a chair? Okay, what I've done here is I literally I'm going to put this on a chair that has a box in it to give it more height. And is this my best idea ever? No, this is very sketchy to do. You know what? I'm gonna switch it so that the Swift is on the chair because the Swift is a lot more durable than the skein winder. So some more reconfiguring. Then I finally just like unplugged it and then just try to use the on and off switch that they gave us. Oh shoot! You know, I think the issue is that I just had it on the slowest setting. Cool. Let's plug these back in. Okay, I'm gonna try it with the foot pedal now. Okay, I can't get the foot pedal to work, so I'm just gonna do it without it, and we'll just see what happens. Okay, I had to move you guys because my camera was about to die, so now we're plugged into the same power strip as the skein winder. I'll get more. Okay, let's put on a skein though. Store. There's just like, it's tricky. I'll figure it out soon. Okay, make sure that doesn't hit anything. Okay, let's get up some Madeline Tosh. That means I also have to find some scissors somewhere. Okay, let's feed it through the pigtail. There we go. Okay, now it's on, and let's start the, let's tie that along, let's just go. Oh, it's tangled. Okay, why is this getting stuck? Okay, wait, start again. I'm supposed to add tension to it. Oh my god! It's supposed to be like 45 degrees, so I guess I'm supposed to go up here. Oops, alright. In my old skein winder, I used to just like, if I went too fast, the skein would just fly off. Okay, let's see how it is. Oh my god. It's so beautiful. I just realized that I forgot to put the little label on, but look how beautiful it is. Like, who needs the foot pedal? I just had like the jankiest setup, like my Swift's on a chair right now. But who needs, look at that. You don't even need the foot pedal. Okay, I'm gonna do one more skein of the Madeline Tosh, and then if that works out, I'm going to try some Suri, because I don't know what it's gonna be like with like a stickier yarn. It's done. Okay, so now I'm gonna remember to put this in. I think you do it like this. Oops. Come off a little. Okay, seems to be working. Now let's try a sticky yarn. So I'm gonna do the melted baby Suri that I just got. And again, this is in the colorway Champagne. Okay. Ooh, that is crisp. Okay, I'm gonna do a few more skeins and then I'm going to put everything away. Whew, look at that. So my honest review of this Ashford Wheels and Looms, yes, is that I really like it, and I wish that I had this like 2 years ago. Like, these skeins that it made are just like way better than literally anything that I could have done. Like, even if I concentrated really hard, like, they're really clean, they're like really dense, like it doesn't feel like it's gonna fall apart. Like, I have definitely been guilty of like winding up skeins that are not great. Like, they're pretty loose and like they kind of fall apart after like you're knitting with it for a while, and these feel amazing. Like, I don't think that I could have done a skein like this even if I concentrated really hard and I kept the tension and I like wound it really slowly. And I was going at the fastest speed, and I was keeping an eye on it for a while just because like I am unfamiliar with the machine and I wasn't really sure like how finicky it was. It doesn't seem to be super finicky, except for the fact that it doesn't seem to like using the foot pedal, even though it's highly recommended to use the foot pedal over the little like dial. So the foot pedal wasn't working for me, and I don't know what I was doing wrong. I didn't troubleshoot it for a super long time, and I was like, this seems like a sign to just try the dial. And I loved using the dial, like it was so convenient. I would say I am curious to see how it would do with like a sticky yarn, like Suri or mohair, for a longer like time, because I'm using the Melted Baby Suri, so it's only 175 meters, but like your typical Suri or your mohair is about like 350 to 420 meters, so it's a lot longer. And I did hear a little bit of like pulling. No, sorry, I didn't hear it. I felt it pulling a little bit like jagged. It wasn't as smooth as say like the Tosh Vintage, because that's like a smooth yarn. And I don't know if it was like say my really sketchy setup of the Swift, or if it was the skein winder itself. But I will continue to use the skein winder and let you guys know. Basically, like, this whole yarn haul video turned into my review and experience with the electric skein winder, and I really like it. I think that if you can afford it, it's an investment that's definitely worth it. If you don't have a Swift at home, you have to get it done at a yarn store, and it was never an issue in the LA yarn stores or even the San Francisco ones, because I had my own Swift. Like, I didn't have to wait for the Swift and the skein winder to be opened up. But I can imagine that like if you go to Argyle Yarn store, like say during the fall, like, and their Swift and skein winder are being used by somebody else, where there's like a long line, like it can take you like a full day to get the yarn that you just bought. And that's kind of annoying. Like, I know it's like all about slow fashion and being very intentional, but like if I buy the yarn that day, like if I go into a yarn store and I am able to touch the yarns and I choose them out, and then I have to wait another day before I can actually pick it up and knit with it, like, I'm gonna be mad. And it doesn't even matter if I'm not gonna knit with them immediately, like, I would just want the ability to knit with them immediately. And don't get me wrong, I don't blame the yarn stores at all. I just, like, am aware that, like, not everybody has a Swift or a skein winder, and Argyle yarn stores, or just literally any local yarn store, is only gonna have, like, a limited amount of skein winders. So it's gonna take time. And, like, kicking up skein winder, I don't know what you call it, but kicking up these skeins, like, it used to take me, like, I used to do it sometimes for like an hour every morning, and it was just like so frustrating. Like, I'd get tired, it was kind of like always at an awkward height for me, and so I'm really excited to use this a bunch. And I do foresee myself like using more like hanks in the future, so like I think that this will really open it up more and like open up my ability to knit more, just because like I can sit and knit while I do this instead of like having to sit and wind it and like keep the tension. And like honestly, it's said to keep the tension and like hold it, but like the skeins, like I don't think I really even held the tension for this one, and it's still beautiful. So I'm not an engineer for this company, and I wasn't paid by them at all, but like I'm not sure if you really need the foot pedal or if you need to hold the tension as much. However, I would hold the tension just for a little bit, especially with stickier yarns, for at least the beginning, just to make sure that things are going to go smoothly and it's not going to like turn into a giant tangle and become a mechanical mess. But thank you so much for sticking with me. This kind of became an unintentional like yarn haul, day with me, review of an electric skein winder. Yeah, it's just knitting in general. It's like everything around knitting except for knitting, because I still haven't really found the time to sit down and knit as much. But that'll be soon, especially now that I have this electric skein winder. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Happy knitting, and see ya.